of your creed as a leader is to be the people first. Be the people in the sense that work for the people, be in the name of the people. I remember visiting German parliament. A big logo, the German parliament, was stated for the German people. But the question today is the Nigerian parliament for the Nigerian people? A parliament where its members take constituency projects and they put the money to their own personal use. In 2019, there was a report released by, I think, ICPC about an investigation that a lot of money is being collected as constituency project never really get to the people. Can you call that parliament a parliament that thinks of the people when the constituency projects money does not get to the people? So please, we here, we are to hold everybody accountable. And we are also accountable. And that's why we are asking the leaders to please have the mind of the people. Do well for the people. And let us build a country that can truly stand the test of time. If we do not do that, then our nation will continue to suffer. Our nation will continue to go through the doldrums. And our nation will never be emancipated for the pain and penury that it currently faces. I'll take one or two calls before I get my diaspora brothers in. 0818-099-1991. 0818-099-1991. I can see a lot of my diaspora brothers already trying to join what I call the diaspora dialogue this morning. 0818-099-1991. If you want to call that number from every part of the world, put +234 in front of it. But if you want to call it locally, 0818-099-1991. I'd like to thank you all also for your messages, the award I received. And please do not listen to the detractors and the evil ones that carried a rumor that I was suspended. I wasn't suspended. I was in Germany on the deal of the German government to make impact. All right. Hello, how are you?
My brother Rufai, good morning.
Morning, great to have you. What's the name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is a friend Chris from Ogun State, Igbeta.
Great to have you, Chris from Igbesa. How you doing now?
My brother, I am okay. My family is okay, and I hope you too are the same.
Yes, I'm okay, but I'm a little jet lagged. I'm tired, from traveling for hours, but I'm fine. And I'm okay. We thank God. We keep speaking up for the greatness of our country.
My brother, keep it up. Listen to me now, Rufai.
Yes, sir.
We are following up. We are listening. We are hearing your voice.
Mhm.
And the other people there, don't worry. 2027, you will understand if we are listening or not. Listen, last time was take it, run away with it, grab it. This time around, when you grab it, take it, run away. We will go where you are and get it immediately. Bring it to INEC. Stay there, they count it, they check it. So no problem.
Bless you.
For us, my brother.
Bless you. Bless you so much, my brother. I really appreciate you. And like I said, this show is open to everybody from any political party. But I will just tell you that I will ask you the questions and the rigorous questions because I like a lot of rigorous work. And we'll have a great time, right? 0818-099-1991. 0818-099-1991. Those are the phone lines to call us up. 0818-099-1991. I get a lot of people that send me messages and say, "Oh, they want me to mentor them." I would just say, you can watch what I do from afar, and you can ask questions, and I'm ready to listen to your questions as much as possible. Hello, how are you?
Hello.
Great to have you. God bless you. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good stuff. Where are you calling from? Okay, Ugeli. Are you calling from Ugeli? Sule, turn off the volume of your radio set. It's too loud. Okay. I mean, I thought you said Ugile, I was like, Jerry. Oh, please turn off the volume of your radio set. 0818-099-1991. Hello, how are you?
Morning, fire on fire.
Great to have you. Bless you so much, my brother Manjem.
How are you, sir? Welcome back.
Manjem, do you know while I was in Germany, we planned the Oseni Center medical outreach and we did it, and I coordinated it from Germany. And I want to thank Baba Beji, the doctors from Babcock, and all the great people that were there to help me coordinate it on ground while I was busy going from university to university to go learn in Germany.
Wow, you're welcome back. I can see all your pictures. We really missed you. I love. I watched one of your videos when you were talking to some people of Nigeria and the diaspora. Rufai, you're really doing great job.
They're already on the line waiting. They're going to be talking. We're going to be talking development in Nigeria, how the diaspora can come in. We're going to hear all of them. We set up a WhatsApp group. We will hear them out. My brother, God bless you. Please, when I still have my small widow's wine, I'll still send to you to help me buy drugs for those IDP people. It is well. That's Manjem, our partner that helps us with the IDP camps. Hello, how are you? Bless you so much. I appreciate you.
Thank you for the show.
Yeah.
What I'm going to is lucky according to
Okay.
What I think to let us, if you watch, we're trying to let us know that even as he has get the power now that it's going to be easy for him. That's what he's trying to let us know. So, how come Nigeria is leg? But all I know that somebody that tie his leg, they not tie their hand. You can easily lose your hand, lose your leg. But if they tie your hand, your leg is being not tied, you cannot use your leg to lose your hand. But if you're busy thinking that I have Nigeria hand, I have not yet tied Nigeria hand. Only when they tie Nigeria to this leg, but our hand is free to use our leg.
Okay.
So what we're talking about is 2027 election. We're going to follow up the election and make sure that we will not continue with this APC in 2027.
Okay. So
what we're talking about, if you want the president government now, he's also bragging that if you can win the primary election 2027, win the election 2027 when he's not in power, that now he's in the power, that is not going to be a minority to him. So I don't know how I'm going to do it actually, but that I know.
All I would tell you to do is go out there to vote your choice. It's your choice that matters more than anything. So just go out there, vote your choice, and that's it. Hello, how are you?
Hello?
And learn to speak up. You know, I remember when they said they wanted to revalidate the voters register if we had not spoken up. Now they've said it's going to be after the elections, and we said it was not a good idea. So learn to speak up. Anything you see, let your voice count. That's just it. Congratulations on winning the award as the Media Personality of the Year at Independent Newspapers Award. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for that. Let me take a couple of calls more before I bring my friends in the diaspora to come in and we talk development. Hello, how are you?
Hello, my good brother.
God bless you. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Quickly, sir.
My name is I'm calling from I'm greeting you with the German language. I know I heard that they're coming. You travel to Luxembourg in Germany.
Yeah, guten Morgen. No, I was in Berlin. Yeah, guten Morgen. I know you reached that one. No. We get I know you reached that one. Bless you, my brother.
You're welcome.
Wow. Wow, thank you so much. I was at Alexanderplatz in Berlin.
I want to appreciate you. Forget all the propaganda we heard in the radio that you traveled. You are welcome. You are highly welcome. You're a big brother. Keep on going. We are with you. God will bless you and guide you and protect you in Jesus' name.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate you, sir. Yes.
So I'm also calling on people, maybe people that have thoughts and opinions about politics and they represent different political parties. Please come on this show. All right. We don't discriminate, be APC, PDP, as long as you can stand the test of hard questions. Because, and you know the reason why we had asked the hard questions, Nigerians are not stupid. We just want accountability, and that's just it. So that's just it. So let me take a little bit of our diaspora brothers. Can we? I think Arinze got here first. Arinze, you can unmute production and then tell us your ideas about development. But let it be quick, maybe like an hour, a minute, a minute 30, so that we can also get a chance for Franklin, Adaora Rama, Sylvester, and everything, to jump in this conversation. And from time to time, I will get our very good friends and brothers in diaspora on this platform to speak from time to time right here on VOP. Like I will keep that diaspora community going on. And like I said, I'm still planning on a tour of Europe. It's not just going to be on the jam. Now, Riza, great to have you. Bless you, my brother.
Thank you very much, Rufai. And
thank you so much.
Yes. Okay. It was amazing speaking to you in Berlin. And
bless you. Franklin, don't leave. Come back. And all of you that joined before, please come back. Oh, go ahead, Arinze. Go ahead.
Yeah. So the name is Arinze, and I've been in Berlin for very little. So I just left Nigeria. So it's not been a long time I left Nigeria. So now talking about development, and also from what you said when you actually started, you said for democracy to work, all hands must be on deck, and that is very true. But all hands being on deck means that those hands that are on deck should actually know what is going on responsible. That is a very big problem. That Nigerians, we are ill-informed, not misinformed. We don't have so much information, especially for who these our leaders are and the responsibilities they actually hold. For example, most of us don't know who our ward councillors are. We don't know who our local government chairmen are, right? And these people are the people that are actually very close to us. It is easier for me to reach my councillor than to actually reach my state governor because he's a block or two away from where I live, but I do not know who this person is. I don't have their contact information. And it's also funny that INEC, which is the body that actually manages this election, do not have these details to the grassroots, right? So they actually leave that information for SIC, which is the State Independent Electoral Commission. But these states do not have platform to actually curate this data. So we are missing this particular data point in our democracy. So this is very, very crucial. And how?
So what's your idea to solve this problem?
Yes. Okay.
I think you have a solution about it. So you can, you're listening to a lot of people. You are going live on terrestrial radio in Nigeria. You're also on VOP 90.3 FM platform on YouTube, which has about 92,000 followers. Then you are also live on all my pages on TikTok, on Facebook, and on Instagram, which have cumulatively over 1 million. So the world is listening to you. What's going to be your idea for development to solve this problem that Nigerians do not even have data on their leaders? How do we solve this problem? And what are you proposing? And how can the whole world listen and support you?
Yes, good. So I'm building a platform, or we are building a platform, ournigeria.ng, www.ournigeria.ng, ournigeria.ng. So the first use case we are trying to solve is getting data for our political leaders and public officers, not just political leaders. Our Ministry of Works, the Ministry of Works, getting everything concerning Ministry of Works. If you have a problem, what's the closest place for you to actually report issues, right? And then we're also managing things like budgets, right? So you go into your state. If you visit the site at the moment, you would actually select your location and automatically it gives you all of your leaders. Now, for those ones that are missing, we're actually doing a crowd-funded data intelligence gathering, right? So if you actually visit the app at the site at the moment, you see that your local government ward councillor, your ward councillor might not be there. We would ask you to produce this information if you know this person, because he's probably your brother, he's probably your neighbor, or somebody that lives across your street, right? So you can actually put in that information, and then we actually verify and accept that information. So we are letting the people build this database for every other person, right? So if you know.
So what's the website again? Because I don't want to keep Sylvester waiting. What's the website again?
www.ournigeria.ng.
Okay, ournigeria.ng. Sylvester, I would like you to come in. I would like to talk development. What's your idea about development from the diaspora? And please, I would like people from the group, the WhatsApp group, to please join us. Sylvester, you can mute yourself and speak, please. We'd like people from the WhatsApp group to please go back and join us, please. We're waiting for you. Yeah.
Morning, Rufai. So sorry I won't be able to talk long. I'm currently on transit in Detroit right now. So just like we spoke the last time, where we have a product, in the medical sector. Of course, I'm a software
Yeah.
developer. Been in Germany for a couple of years. Within up to like 10 years now. So our product is mainly on the health sector, like I said, so that enables German doctors be able to fly to Nigeria, perform free surgery to the less privileged, of course. People who are really in need of all of these things. So I think we are like about 70 to 80% done with the project. I think maybe next week I'll be able to throw more light on this aspect of this development.
Okay. So when you have more details, please
Yes,
do well
yes.
to come back to us and throw more light. We'd still like to get more people. I mean, the Diaspora group is there. Please still join on the call if you have ideas for development. I will keep talking about this thing. And definitely Arinze, and Sylvester, these your ideas. We'll keep giving it promotion here and keep talking about these things, because what we are also looking at is we want to be part of the solution. And that's what this Rufai Diaspora Connect is going to do. We want to be part of the solution. We want to be part of those that will join up and say, okay, how can people in diaspora still make impact in Nigeria and build businesses of their own and be able to affect lives across board? That's what we're looking at. So I thank you both, for joining us. If we also have other people that are in the diaspora group that want to talk about development and ideas and things like that, and things that they might want to come together and do, you can join up on the call. I've put the link in the group for you. So you can join up on the call so that we will be able to get in and have some conversation. And Risa, you still have a lot you want to say?
Yes. So we actually need people to actually help. This is where we actually want a lot of people to actually come in to support the project, right? For now, we have a lot of data to actually be verified. Most importantly, data with respect to how money is spent, right? So we have a lot of money in Nigeria. Money is not our problem. From what I've seen, based on the documents and the budget I've actually read, we have from 2019 to 2026 budget and how money is being disbursed. So we need to actually have a public accountability platform that actually tells you how much came in, how much went, and to where did they go to, which contractor was actually used. For now, it's only the federal government that actually publishes this data. State governments do not. They do what is called implementation reports. They actually send implementation reports, but the contractors they use for project are not being mentioned. Right, so this is a problem. The federal government mentions the contractors, the dates they actually make the payment. So we have those data. We are going to publish them as time goes on. But for the states, we only have data for their budget and not how those budgets were being spent. So what we are doing at the moment is we take your data, you go to the platform, we take your location, and then we give you this information. How much is your state owing? How much does your state budget for the year? What was your state revenue for the last year? How was it located in different sectors? Or how was it allocated in different sectors? And also, what is FAC, right? Because we hear FAC a lot. How does the Nigerian government share this money to multiple states? Why did your state get a particular amount of money it got? So this education for the citizens would actually equip them to be effective citizens. I believe we just have citizens in Nigeria. We don't have active and participating citizens. And that is because they are not informed. And some of them are deliberate. They just don't want to be informed. They think politics do not concern them. But it trickles down to the bread they buy, the egg they buy. It affects their life fundamentally. So, and I believe that this project would actually help shine light to them, knowing that, oh, there's a lot of money coming in my local government, and what is it being used for, right?
Okay. Let me take some more calls. And we're still expecting more people in diaspora to join us from that group. But thank you so much, Arinze. 0818-099-1991. Arinze, the website, once again, that we've talked about is my
www.ournigeria.ng.
ournigeria.ng. So you can call us up on the live show if you want to talk to Arinze. He's part of the people I met in Diaspora. Ournigeria.ng. That's the the site. And Sylvester is also working on this idea on the healthcare sector. You can do well to hit us up, and if you want to ask questions from these two great Nigerians in diaspora that are working on things to be able to benefit, Nigeria, then we will be able to take it on. And their Twitter handle is our AWA Nigeria. our Nigeria, AWA Nigeria. All right. And you can do well to sending that message. And like, we're still seeing a lot of things. If you have challenges and things that happen in your society you want to report, we set up something called resolveam.org, which I set up with a couple of other people as like a Civitech thing, not for profit thing. So you can also lodge your complaints, there. 0818 099 1991. Those are the phone lines to call us up on. 0818 099 1991. 0818 1991. 0818 1991. And like I said before, people are using my name to scam people. I don't have anything to do with your Adebayo, please. I get that message every time. I know nothing. The only problem I don't have is that I've built a level of integrity. That's why everybody uses my name to scam people. Hello, how are you?
Good morning, sir.
Morning, great to have you. So we've got two great diasporans I met on my talk. Yeah, Arinze is here. Sylvester is also here. They have an idea to change.
I'm calling. My name is Andrew. I'm calling from Ejibu, sir.
For Ejibu, go ahead.
I'm good. And God will be with you and guide you, protect you. Nothing will happen to you. And the more you are giving God food, what you have blessed you abundantly, and a long life and prosperity. I just want to say hi to you.
Bless you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Very much,
I appreciate you. 1991 0818 099 1991 0818 099 1991. If you want to call us up, and if you want to take some insights from us this morning, and we still have Arinze. So Arinze, is that all you want to say about this our Nigeria, and how you want to call on people to join us on this project? Is that all you want to say? Because you have the floor, so that I can also let you guys go. And let me just allow Sylvester to speak a bit. Let me allow you to speak a bit because Seth is in transit. Is Sylvester still there? Okay, I think he's busy because he's in transit. But Arinze, you want to say one or two things before I let you go?
I think that's the message I want to actually pass on, right?
Good stuff.
Yeah, if we actually know where, I think, is it Achebe that said the man that does not know where the rain started beating him will probably not know when he dries up, right? So if we know where our problem is coming from, we should be able to actually like fix that, and from there, meaningful conversation can actually come up from knowing who is representing you, and then you can actually take possible steps of knowing where to channel your grievances, your complaints, and also where you'd actually can make actual change.
Right. So is there like a personal email you want to give out that if people want to reach you as regards this project, what's it going to be?
Yes, Arinze at ournigeria.ng.
Arinze at ournigeria.ng.
Yes.
Okay. Arinze at ournigeria.ng. All right. So Arinze is a Nigerian in diaspora. He's in Germany, met him in Germany. He's building something where you can get information about projects, about everything, your local government councillor, who is he, and things like that. All the information necessary that will help you make better decisions about Nigeria. He's a member of the Diaspora Committee and is building that. Like I said, I'll be having the Diaspora Showcase from time to time. And also Sylvester, anyway, he's in transit now, is also building something really very fabulous, how Nigerians can get German doctors to treat them and things like that. And he says next week is going to become more clear. So please, I would also like to beg people in this Diaspora Connect. I want to showcase diasporas to the world and the exciting things they are doing. If you have other diasporans too that want to join that group, that WhatsApp group, and they have ideas for development and they want to showcase to Nigeria, I will give them the platform. That's what I promised. So Arinze, can you attest to the fact that I promised it and I delivered? Arinze?
Oh yeah. The thing is, I was even thinking it would be next week Sunday, because I know you're actually traveling back to Nigeria yesterday. So your work rate is out of this world. Like seriously.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still jet lagged. My eyes are still swollen, but I mean, I don't like to procrastinate, and I don't like to keep a great idea waiting. And please, Arinze, if you still have new insights, you want to join us up next weekend, I'll be dedicating, even if it's 5-10 minutes, to diasporas. They're doing great stuff, and to amplify them.
Thank you.
And to amplify them.
Thank you.
All right, Sylvester, thank you so much too. Really appreciate you guys more than once can tell. Let me let you guys continue your very busy day.
Okay.
But God bless you all.
You too.
God bless you. God bless you. So I'll always send the people in the Diaspora Network. If you want to join, then definitely, please, you can find if you have any contact in Berlin that came to the Rufai meetup, you can find them. They can get you on the WhatsApp group. And big shout out to Victor. It was his birthday. Victor coordinated everything, made it happen. Big shout out to Ibano restaurant in Charlottenburg, in Berlin. You know, they made everything happen, and we had that event, and it was a success. And I just want to promote and amplify that. And I'll play the excerpt of what I said in Germany, the ideas I shared. Yeah, bless you. How are you, man?
Hi, good morning, sir.
Morning.
It's Mary from Akko and Joseph.
Great to have you, Mary.
Please, I need your help, sir. Please, sir.
What's the matter?
Please, the place I work, I've stopped my work. Wish I have a baby in my hand. That's 4 months, baby. Please, I wish you can help me, sir. Please.
Help you how? How do you want to be helped?
Like, I need money to start a business. Wish my friend.
What business do you want to do?
Like, I'm a caterer. I can cook.
Are you looking for an investor? Should we ask somebody to invest in your business? How much? When will you pay them back? Will you pay them back?
Okay, sir. I don't mind, sir. If I start the business, once the money has come up in my hand, I'll be giving them.
Okay. Okay, so your number is 0907
Yes,
046 6017, right?
Yes, sir.
0907 046 6017. So this lady needs an investment in a catering business because she's got a child she needs to take care of. If you're interested, just contact her 0907 046 6017, right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. It is well.
Thank you, sir.
For nothing. For nothing. Hello, how are you? Hello. So do well to reach out on that number. All right, we still take calls on 0818-099-1991. 0818-099-1991. Those are the phone lines to call us up on. 0818-099-1991. All right. Ring us up. Let us. Yeah. Somebody's asking, are you still with the ICB? Yes, I am. I just back at work tomorrow. Yeah, yes, I am. Good. So, 0818-099-1991. I'll take a couple of calls, and we'll push the show to the YouTube page and the what's it called page, where you can get a chance to listen to the things I did in Germany again, the speech I gave to the Nigerian community in Germany. Hello, how are you? Hello? We lost that. Uchenna Richard from Kiev. I can see your message. Trust you're safe. Trust you're okay. Kiev. So we'll take some more calls. After taking the calls, we'll play the excerpts of the speech I gave in Berlin. And we'll also get other things in to the show. So you can listen through 90.3 on terrestrial and YouTube on VOP 90.3 FM on YouTube, right? And I thank you all for the support. I thank you all for the kindness. Hello? 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 Okay, somebody's also joining from Istanbul. Akwadana Vivek from Istanbul, you're joining us up. Thank you so much for joining us up all the way from Istanbul. Kenneth Adiro, I see you. And lots of messages and people coming in and joining us from every part of the world. Somebody saying, what's the conversation centered on? I mean, we took a conversation from the diaspora community in Germany that I spoke to. People doing interesting stuff. Like I said, when I went to speak in Germany, I set up something called Diaspora Connect. And in Berlin, where we set up the first WhatsApp group. And we're taking that up and we're using that to be able to just allow people connect back home, give them platforms where they can go ahead and impact They're coming. So let's see if this phone line is going to go through. Hello? But what's the matter? You called before already. Let some other people call now. No. The one we can help you for is the money you want to raise for business, and we've given your number out. That's the best we can do. Have a good day. Bless you. All right. So 0818-099-1991. I think we'll take some more calls. Hello, how are you? Hello? Hello?
Morning.
Morning. Please turn on the volume of your radio set. If you don't turn it off, we can't hear you. Yeah, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Nigeria.
Go ahead.
I have been listening to your program for some time now. It's quite interesting.
Yeah.
I'm very, very happy to meet you this morning. So I want to make a demand and believing that it's going to be an interesting one. I've been battling about life for a long time now, but it seems as it's becoming more than my strength. So let me try to reach out.
What's wrong with you?
I run a business. I did that place for a good 10 years. So after the 10 years expired, the settlement became an issue, which because he couldn't respond very well to me, and eventually gave me 150,000 to start a business. It's an electrical business, and I struggled to come up with challenges and all that. And it's not an easy thing to me. So what I'm just looking for, I can be able to move on because I've gone into family life and all that. So
What cost? Why couldn't you use that money, put it to good use at first when you were given that money? What happened?
I started a shop because it's an agreement of settlement. So I got a shop and I started the business. The business has been running for some time. But because of those and their responsibilities, they will come up and stand very firm. It's very, very.
So how are we sure that if anybody takes a chance and empowers you, it's not going to be a story again?
No, not at all.
Why? How are we sure? What could you have done differently with that seed capital that you will do now?
Of course, I have to go back to the electrical part because I have the show.
No, why did you fail? Why did you fail then? I'm just trying to ask to know if you have learned the lesson. Why did you fail then, and why do you think you succeed now?
It was because of I think it's from it was in 2010 I started the business, and it was going on where the policies and everything came up.
What came up? Okay, so inflation affected you, right?
Huh?
You said inflation affected you.
Of course, very, very much because the prices of things went up. The electrical part have to start the shop with 150,000. So the market was very, very small. And that started my life because that was settlement. Everything about it started.
Okay. Give
I have the handwork that I'm supporting. I repair things and I do installations.
Okay, give out your number. Give out your number. Let's see. Anybody might be listening. They might be interested. Yeah.
077
Yeah.
566 567.
Okay. Thank you.
566 567.
Okay. It's all right. Thank you. Fingers crossed. Let's hope for the best. All right. Okay, guys. I'd like to say thank you for being on the show today. I pray God will bless you. He'll continue to keep you. He'll keep his face and favor over you. And he'll give you peace on every side. I'm not going to lie to you. It's a struggle. Doing this show after I'm having a lot of jet lag. So I flew in yesterday from Germany, went to an award ceremony, barely slept all night doing this show. It's not easy on my body. So I will have to wrap it up here. Definitely we'll talk to you again soon. But I love you guys more than words can tell. And you're always in my thoughts and in my prayers every time. All right. You can listen to what transpired in Germany on the radio, 90.3, and also on the YouTube page. But on all of my pages that are broadcasting this, we're going off the page now. But thank you guys so much. Really appreciate you more than words can tell. God bless you. And God bless you real good. All right. Thank you guys.
You said, look, just leave it.
Okay. It's alive.
All right.
So, gentlemen, thank you guys so much. Some people turn out. We are still waiting for more people. Thank you so much. Okay. We don't block the end. Somebody can always go to yeah, then we can make it longer. You are right. Long this one. From this one. We'll make this one here. Let me pass it. Let me pass it. Okay. I can forget the thing now.
Okay. Yeah, it's very sorry. I think we should get a chair to put in. Rufai, you sit down here.
Don't worry about stand up, man. There is no speaking.
So.
Oh, don't worry. You guys sit up more. That's good. Outside. Outside. So, I mean, what I'll pretty much do is, because I also felt that I should just interface, you know, so I prepared something, sort of like a dialogue series. So what I'll also be doing is, we're talking together in the coming months.
Let me make the introduction.
Okay, so just go ahead.
All right, so thank you everyone. Thank you for coming. So my name is Victor Ayoimbo. Many of you know me. You're all welcome to this engagement, to this conversation that we're about to hold. So Rufai will not be spending much time. He will spend pretty much like 45 minutes, 1 hour, because he has some other engagements. So he came here out of very, very tight schedules. So Rufai, over to you. Over to you. Yes.
Let's just sing the quick happy birthday.
Oh.
Happy birthday to you.
Come and film me, please.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. May the good Lord bless 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 you. Bless me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
So much.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
And like I said, I'm really grateful for all of you coming. Thank you so much for your time. And thank you so much, for coming at the short notice. Because please come and sit with baby here, please. Let me carry my I can carry my phone. So, like I was saying, I'm happy that you guys came at a very short notice. And I think it's more than overdue to come and interface with a lot of Nigerians in diaspora. Because apart from my job in the media, there's also a need to be able to talk and open our eyes to things that are going on back home and look at possibilities that we can improve upon our nation. And like I said, I've taken the part myself that also I will be sort of like doing a tour. I mean, if we can confirm some couple of areas in Europe, then I can come back, do some more tours. I was supposed to get an award last year
In Frankfurt. Yeah.
I'll see if I can come back this year. That's if you don't have to go try to steal story.
Come back.
Just this moment I've been here, this small story I was suspended. Exactly. Already, which is false. I'm here on the bill of the German government, and we're having a media interface. And today I was at the Bundestag, and I was also at a cabinet press conference with the German government. So these are some of the interfaces I do, so you keep having that. But I prepared a speech today, which I will deliver extemporaneously, which is about the future of our country. And the reason I speak about the thing and I speak so passionately is because our country is so blessed, but it's in the hands of very powerless leaders. And trust me, these leaders I know so well. And it has constantly been a cycle to the 1960s. Leaders that are driven by their own selfish agenda, by their own greed, by their own capacity to be able to hold for themselves at the expense of people. Bless you so much, my brother. Please stand.
Sit down, please.
So,
Sit down.
you see, it has to be said. What is currently happening is not a new cycle. It has always been. If you go back to the 60s, in the days of Okotiebo, in the days of Okotiebo, there were people that were called Mr. 10%. And Mr. 10% were people that are always taking government perks, government contracts for themselves. Okotiebo was so rich that his material, he has to have an extra boy that would carry his material. It was called a miniature. And that was the kind of wealth these guys made even in the 60s. Had a lot of property in Ikoyi, had a lot to himself. And this was Nigeria's wealth. In arguments, they'll claim, oh, we're business people. But we all know that it's the Commonwealth and the resource that they have access to that they possibly use. And you see, when the Civil War happened, it was because you had military officers that saw the grafts and the situation of things going on. And in their minds, they didn't understand the political dynamics, and they felt the way and the solution was to be able to cause chaos and plant the coup, which set us backwards. And that's why I always tell Nigerians that in our anger and annoyance, a coup is never going to be the way forward. Because what it just breeds is a new set of leaders that are less accountable, that are less empathetic to people. And that's why I condemn the last coup that was tried against the government of President Tinubu. Do I agree with President Tinubu on many things? No. But I condemn any coup that was done against him. Because it sets the fortunes of the country backward. And let's not be deceived. I mean, look at Burkina Faso, that people keep lying and spinning the narrative. There's no freedom. There's no freedom. So, what really fixes democracy is accountability. And that's why they will always fight to ensure that accountability is not done. That's why the very first thing and the very first challenge I always get is with politicians that don't want accountability. So they're constantly fighting and say, oh, Rufai, you owe too much. Why are you talking? Because they don't want accountability. So you will see that a country so much blessed with milk and honey cannot get it right because over the years, the leaders have turned the country into a rent-seeking state, and the lack of accountability is rife. And once that happens, then definitely you have problems. So from the days of Okotiebo to the days of Shagari to the days of Diko, that the Buhari tried to bring back in the crates, to the Abacha government. It's been a serial reflection of leaders that only believe in themselves and how they can loot the commonwealth of the nation for their own selfish interests. And guess what is in the middle of this? The hard-working and hard-suffering Nigerians. That the structure of a nation that's supposed to be accountable in governance and leadership is never built in favor of. And when it gets too hard, what happens to a lot of Nigerians? We take the easy way out. I'm sure a lot of you that are here, if I ask you people, do you truly want to be here? No. No. It's just because we've had a leadership that doesn't care about the people, that can't provide the basics. That as the year go by, the basics become harder. I have a very good friend of mine that told me that when he moved into his house in Omoni Phase 1 in 1992, he didn't even have a borehole. He connected to public water. Today, public water does not even come out from that same Omoni Phase 1 or Phase 2. And that's the dilemma of the country. From having access to power supply to not having access to power supply again. And when you ask, they give you all sorts of cock and bull stories. The PDP tried 16 years. They couldn't fix anything. The APC that abused the PDP, okay, when we come in, we'll fix power, you tried 16 years. Till today, APC has done 8 years, 10 years on that, they've not fixed anything. So, the problem is not about APC or PDP. Except we get a structure right that holds the politicians accountable. You'll never have a system that will grow. And that's why if that is not the case, Nigeria will constantly wallow and constantly be where it's always been. Lack of accountability, lack of structure, lack of leadership. What do you see here? It's accountability. The roads, accountability. The ecosystem, the accountability. It's not rocket science. It's not rocket science. The gutters being clean, accountability. But for us, we live in slums. Look at Bodilon, where the president is. Have you seen the gutter in Bodilon? You still have open gutter. Somebody will have thought that, oh, if it was an exclusive area like Ikoyi, at least we have to have closed drainage. As we stay here, there's drainage going under us. Water is passing under us as we speak. But there's a level of accountability here. Sorry, my there's a level of accountability. And that's what we lack. And when we lack that, we keep going around in circles. And that's where we've always been. So my first proposition is accountability that will solve the problem. It's not a politician that solves the problem. The former president of Ghana, Jerry John Rawlings, once said, let the country be so accountable that even if it's the devil that wins an election, it will be held accountable. So if there's anything we have to build, accountability thresholds. Institution. How do you do that? Embolden the media. I tell people, support the media. Because the first thing the politicians attack is the media. Because they know that that's the only thing that shines the light. And we're even grateful that we're in an era that is fast evolving, this era of social media. So that at least you can reveal the things that are happening. Formerly, how many media can tell you for free? There are many stories that affect Nigerians that once the editor, money exchange handler, they say kill the story. That's the end of the story. There are many things that affect your life that you never got to know because they said kill the story. And when they say kill the story, millions of dollars exchange hands, oil block exchange hands, and all of that. Kill the story and that was it. But we, for building a society and building Nigeria of our dreams, we must ensure that we have a media where the story lives. Accountability. Look at what is happening to Amu Peter now, the INEC chairman. Who will have known that common grok will have found him out? You saw what happened yesterday. Akpabio was addressing the statement and he said, oh, he didn't say APC will win or something. So, but Emukuto had said that he didn't have an X account. He denied it. So why is Fabio saying, defending them? He didn't say APC or something. But we know what the tweet was a reaction to something. So at least with basic things like forensic, they're holding them accountable. If it's a country that was ready to work, and with the way INEC credibility has been damaged, I would have thought that Abu Kunto would have said, in the interest of integrity, I will subject my Twitter handle for forensic audits. But because we don't have accountability. So once you don't have that, it becomes a problem. So the first proposition is we need to embolden the media. Everybody needs to be on watch guard. If you see something, you have to say something for this democracy. There are many cases which I have sorted out that if not for the sake of accountability, other people would not want to talk. I was the one that broke the story of a Major General that beat up somebody on the street in Abuja because they overtook them. And the army had to respond to it. Accountability. The second proposition is, if you ever find yourself with the politicians in the room, tell them the truth. Don't sulk up to them because of positions. Do I get offered perks by politicians? Yes. But the most important thing is, I tell them the truth. You know why? For every time you don't tell them the truth, their decision gets to affect somebody close to us. And you do not know who it might be. So when you're around them, it's incumbent on you to tell them the truth. Because definitely they'll come. They'll come and cut Diaspora people. They'll come and cut Diaspora people. I hear the award, the one I'm supposed to come from in Frankfurt. I hear the Edo State government wants to come.
Yeah.
But if he comes, it's not a must and a stop him like Columbia award and go.
But at that time, you guys would be very consistent. We thought of the whole thing.
No, for my independent, but I mean, if I come collect my award, I mean, I
They,
don't.
they gave Wiki awards, so
I mean, I don't
give them.
I don't need to interface that much with anybody. Anyways, invited me to a new state, and I've also said you should come for an interview. So it's tea for time.
Okay, there'll be time for Q&A.
So
let's just say.
I mean, that's good. I don't have any problems with showing people, showcasing projects. But my question has always been, I think, apart from showcasing projects, any Tom, Dick, and Harry can do projects. I mean, it's not rocket science. There's a budget for it. Fixing one road that was not there before, fixing another road is not the ultimate. Why I want to have a sit down for those interviews, I want to get the ideology for the future. If the German Chancellor only fixes road, Germany will not be what it is today. I want to hear leaders' plan for the next 20 years. That's why I asked for those interviews. I want to know ideology, I want to know philosophy. So I hear you might probably come. I mean, yeah, we'll see hi, hello, but mine is holding leaders accountable and asking the questions when it matters. And that's what I do, Another point I always like to tell people is the sad reality of what's going on. There are two options. The next 40 years, Nigeria might remain where it is. But the next 40 years, things might change. It depends on the path we're ready to take. But let me tell you something. When I say you should hold people back at home accountable, the dynamics will change. You can see what's going on in Europe today. 10, 15, 20 years ago, you didn't have the rise of a right wing. You didn't have alternative for Deutschland. you didn't have people saying we want our country back. As resource becomes scarce, they too will ask questions. And that's when they'll start reminding you that you're not really from here. And the truth of the matter is, why I think diaspora should also think of home is that we live in a world where your German passport doesn't make you German. Your American passport doesn't make you American. I mean, we've seen with Trump. We've seen with Trump. If they ever told you there will be a day that people that have green cards will be treated shabbily by ICE. If they ever told you that there will be a day that Pretty will be killed on the street by ICE. Did you ever believe? So the question is, where you have the biggest ties at, what role are you playing back there? Some of you might have investment back at home. Yes, that's great. But also, investing in the political structure of those countries also matters. If you see a great candidate, crowdfund for that candidate. Because you see, we live in a society where people take the funds from the states, use to buy political power at the expense of the people and make the people suffer. So when that happens, it causes a problem. Not everybody can compete. We live in a society where a politician will tell you that I have so much money that will buy anybody. But you and I know that that politician made the money from conquering. This was a man that had nothing before he got into power. He became a governor of his state, and all of a sudden everything changed. Until today, nobody can hold them accountable for that money. We live in a society where laws are made not to even favor people. Look at the tax laws and the discrepancies. We live in a society where a certain company now gets contracts from government without even challenge and competition. The company on the port was given to a certain crony. The contract on the port, the coastal road, the famous coastal road, that some people always fight me for. Anytime I bring it, what's the cost per kilometer? Very tough facts. And I say I want facts. Because all I'm challenging is that how can 47 kilometers of road cost over $1 billion and you don't want to show us all the papers? But I'm sure you saw what happened recently. An NGO, not for profit, summoned the minister on an FOI asking him to state how did they do bidding for that project? What were the processes they went through for that project? What did they do to be able to arrive at that project number? Where's the environmental impact assessment? So you have the project that started, and when you ask questions about the environmental impact assessment, they say you're stupid. But all of a sudden, $1 billion, and mind you, that $1 billion is not from our purse, it's borrowed money. And the interest goes on, and you and I will pay for it one way or the other. Because you know how you're going to pay for it? When you send money back home, and you want to make back transfers, the new taxation on your back transfers is part of the things they're going to use to pay for it. So these are the questions and these are the insights. My message is, how can we build a coalition of people in the diaspora that will never forget them? I don't do party lines. I don't believe in partisan politics. I believe in building a structure that even if the devil leads Nigeria, we'll hold him accountable. How can we bolster civil society? How can we advocate even more? What holds Germany is not that the politicians here cannot do and undo, but there are structures that hold them accountable. The press is free. The government gives money to the press to ensure their freedom. I had a lecture with the German Press Council this morning, and they were telling us how the government has funding for the press council. I'm talking in here. They shush me down. No, small boy. But here, the government puts money down and ensures that the press makes you accountable. In Nigeria, the government stifled opposition. You can see what they are doing to ADC. They didn't approve a venue for their convention. Allow that go on. In fact, even the venue that they finally got, the person that owns the venue, they harassed and threatened the person. They had to remove AC.
ADC.
But guess what? In England, the leader of the opposition party is called Her Majesty's Leader of the Opposition. The government pays the leader of the opposition the monthly salary for being the leader of the opposition. But here, they squeeze the neck of the opposition.
Wait, hold on. You'll come to that.
To portrays about the media thing. Like here, if you own an apartment, you pay rent.
You see?
You pay rent,
You see?
and later on the division. And it's not the government that earns this money, it goes directly to this media.
You see?
So there's no pressure.
In Nigeria, Wike, the other day, they said they opened a radio station to propagate the activities of APC in Rivers. You know that's against the ethical broadcasting code. Media is not supposed to be partisan.
Yes.
Somebody had the effrontery to come out. You say they just opened the radio station in Rivers State to propagate the activity of a particular party. I do a lot on the rise, voice of people. I'm going to create more platforms. Because we need to look for ways to hold people accountable. When I raised over $500,000 for a lady that herdsmen had pushed her off her farm, and when she went to ask for compensation, they brought out guns. And I was going to Ghana when somebody told me that story. And I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to speak up for you. And we raised that money. I started by putting my own 50,000 naira. I said, other people, let's crowdfund, and we raised $500,000. The woman was sharing, that's the best Easter ever. So we need to be there more for one another. So like I said on that last point, bless you, sir, it's a 50-50 thing. Nigeria might change, it might not change. But let me tell you something. If it doesn't get better, bless you, welcome, sir. If it doesn't get better, we will know that maybe we didn't do as much as we ought to do. Because this generation is fast going down. And we're fast going away. I was talking to Professor Andrew Haruna. That was telling me that in 1983, one of the reasons why they left Nigeria was when they had the ASU strike, where they grounded a lot of lecturers. And Nigeria lost a lot of its intellectual brains in 83. Some waited till about the 90s and they left. That 83, Oyeka Owenu, I'm sure we all know she should be a journalist, did a documentary called Squandering of Riches, where she talked about, why I just come in, where she talked about the pain and the squandering of riches in Nigeria. How things were very sad and sad for the country. And she thought that, okay, this military just coming in might bring hope and possibility. 40 years after, we have lost a generation. So, if we are to say the next 40 years on the generational side, what will Nigeria be? And 2026 today, right? That'll be 2066. What will Nigeria be? Yes. Will we even be able to get the structure right that at least we can have the streets clean, we can have the system, the local government work amenities? But we can actually get it if we fix it. You know why? In the 70s, in China, all right? Cultural revolution happened up to the 70s, and then what's it called? Mao Zedong died. Then Deng Xiaoping came in, and Deng Xiaoping opened up in the 70s. And Deng Xiaoping, when he opened up, he said it's not about if a mouse is black or white, as long as if a cat is black or white, as long as it catches mouse. And they started. Then Japan started opening up. 80, 81, 82, 83. 83, China, 80, 81, 82, China used to be very, very poor. But when you look at the 40-year cycle, as at year 2000, 2001, when they joined WTO, World Trade Organization, extrapolate with the 40-year cycle of Nigeria and China, China has leapfrogged Nigeria. So in the 40 years, the last 40 years, they got it right. In the 40 years, we went down. So we are presented with another 40-year cycle. What are we going to do with it? Are we going to vote in leaders that are going to be rent seekers? Or we are going to vote in possibility? I'm not partisan. Politicians will get to do what they do. But I am just asking that if we can build a structure, that if anybody, even if it's the devil that comes in, will hold the person accountable, building civil society, building government infrastructure, putting fire on the judiciary to ensure it does better, then we can truly make it if we try. Because see, in the next 40 years, most of us will be ready to die. Most of us will even die before death. Wouldn't it be painful that we have wasted the generation again? See, why I'm thinking in 40 years is that a man only has, if a man is lucky, they get 2 40-year cycles in their life. That's how you fix your generation. Look at Germany. After the Second World War, Germany was bombed heavily. The first 40-year cycle, it wasted on division from the war. Now the Cold War, East and West Germany. Competition between GDR and the other part. That was the first 40-year cycle from 1944 to about the 80s. 84, 85, 86, 87, when Reagan came to somewhere here and said, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down the wall, and 1990 when the reunification happened. You can see one 40-year cycle gone. Post-reunification, Germany is already going to another 40-year cycle post-reunification. 36 years post-reunification. Reunification 1990 is another cycle. As our nation's plan was fine. If you remember when the Soviet leaders were there, the likes of Kerenko and the likes, were planning cycles of 5 years. So in the next cycle of 40 years, where Nigeria is going to be, I bet you most of the politicians will never say this to you. You know why? The politicians, they bloody think of the next election. They don't talk about the next generation.
Yeah, true.
For them, it's all 2027. They say, oh, we remove subsidy. But what's the effect on the people? Destroy the capital base of the people. Oh, we have large foreign reserves. Well, you can see that once Russia-Ukrainian war happened, the foreign reserves have dwindled so much because you have to defend the naira. Yes. So there's still a structural problem with liquidity. Despite the fact that the World Bank is patting you on the back, doesn't mean you've solved the structural problems with liquidity. And that's why when we're arguing there, and you still need a buffer system for the currency, don't leave the currency to whims and caprices, because no nation that is not a highly mechanized nation will be able to survive the test of the things of the world. The so-called reserves that we claim that we have, all of a sudden, in the space of a month, we hemorrhage over $1 billion in defending the currency. And you can see the dollar to the naira is still T2 to 1.4 from the 1.3 it was before. Apart from the fact that you had a slice. And let's even now stretch the argument. We remove subsidy. What did they do with the subsidy money? See, guess what now they are now pushing? I'm not sure if anybody saw it in the news the other day. The National Revenue Service boss is now saying that, oh, if we didn't remove subsidy, we'll have spent about 52 trillion. The question is, where are the subsidy savings? Last year budget, we can't, for 2-3 budget year cycles, budget performance, especially for CapEx, capital expenditure, has been less than 50%. Last year was so appalling. For the health sector, it was supposed to be over 200 billion. Guess how much you spent? 36 million. Billion or million? Million.
1 million per state.
For capital expenditure. So you ask, where is the money? And President Tinubu last year said, oh, we've met our target, not oil. So if you met your revenue target, and you're supposed to funnel money to the budget, then what have you spent? I was going through the German budget. I think the yearly budget here is about 500-600 billion. Over 500 billion euros, thereabout. But you can see how the money is funneled. Oh, extra 27 billion to defense, extra this to this, extra that to them. I was at a cabinet briefing today, and they were talking about an extra money based on all what is happening now that they want to add for workers. And in fact, the journalists were tackling them and saying, no, they don't have IBAN, that the government does not have all the IBAN numbers of all the workers. So that's what they were talking about, arguing in the press conference today. They said they want to pay an extra money based on all what is happening. About 1,000 euros tax-free. But they also now argue that how is the government going to deploy because they don't have the IBAN numbers? I think maybe it's the states that control the IBAN. They're like telling all the employers. You get. So now's the conversation they were having in the government press briefing. I was at the press conference or something. That was ministers. And I was in observation capacity just today. That kind of conversation is going. But when workers are left to the whims and caprices of COVID in Nigeria, who's catering to them? Who got the COVID follow? You get? Who got the COVID follow? Nothing. And that's why I say it's a fortunate time. How can we ensure that rather than driving big cars and having 27-man convoy or 100-man convoy in your cars, we can actually make it work for the people? Because politics is not supposed to be hard. It's interest and issue. The question is, does the issue affect the people that they ought to affect? Or the issue affect the pockets of the politician? The problem is that we're having too many issues affect the pocket of the politician. And they're hoodwinking people and saying, because they are doing wrong. Like I keep saying, any Tom, Dick, and Harry can say, go and fix the road. The question is, have you even asked that the road they are fixing, is it the best budget available? Is the contract overinflated? Is the contract efficient? So now we've ramped up the budget to about, I think, close to something trillion. Is it efficient? And taking tax from the people, is it efficient? Insecurity, we're spending a lot on insecurity. President Tinubu is buying a lot of military plane, military gears from France and the likes. But you have soldiers that welfare is still a problem. I have a friend in the military, we went to school together. Sometimes I'm scared to call him because I know I might call him and the phone will not ring and I know he might have died. Then see the way our major general, our brigadier generals are being killed. See General Oba. See also the big general that was killed recently, General Oseni. So in the next 40 years, are we going to be able to get it right? See, impossible is nothing. And I also used to say this, and this is my argument. Culture will eat strategy for breakfast. You can build a new culture of accountability. And I also see possibility. But do we have people that are selfless enough? And will our political structure be able to give up people that are selfless enough? I'll give you an instance. In the 90s, my father worked in the local government. I mean, I built a library and a healthcare center back in my village. But my father worked in the local, he was supervisor for Agri, and he was also supervisor for works. As of 1994, the water works in my town used to use a Rolls-Royce engine. This was a big water works that provided water. As of today, we know that most of the villages that have water works, it's not even maintained again. That's why everybody's digging boreholes. I remember how my dad used to take it upon himself to ensure that our Rolls-Royce engine was serviced, and at least for what it's worth, you should be able to give water in the afternoon and in the night. But in that same village, I saw things go bad so much that my father used to ensure that that water would come out, and I never remember anything about digging borehole up till 2004, 2005. But it dried up that we had to dig boreholes. Because in fact, I remember what we used to do then is, when water comes, tap water, we would take our bottles, fetch tap water in the bottle and go and put it in the fridge. That's what we drank. I mean, bottled water was not popular, we had tap water. Tap water came to Nigeria in 1912. I mean, in Lagos, in Shuba Yeleko and the likes. But the structure is now so bastardized that you hardly even get tap water to drink. So that's the big challenge for the next 40 years. Where are we going to be? The average age here in the next 40 years should be your 70s. Or should be your 80s, or should be your 90s. The average age here in the next 40 years, there's nobody here that will be less than their 70s in the next 40 years. Or their 80s in the next 40 years.
Apart from the little boy there.
Will be 40, apart from him.
Yes, yes.
And the little girl there.
And the little girl, yeah.
So the question is, if he is to talk to us and have a conversation with us then, what kind of future will he say that we left for him?
Yes.
I think that should be the generational question we should ask ourselves.
Mm.
And that's what I want you to ponder on today. What kind of future will he say we left for him? What kind of life will he be able to go to Nigeria where he will say, I want to take a car and drive from Lagos to Nigeria to Grand City. I have a friend, she's white, she's British, Polly. Polly was telling me that in 1992, 1993, they used to drive to the north in her old Volkswagen Jetta. He said one day, the car stopped in the middle of the road. He slept in the middle of the road and nothing happened. In fact, in the middle of the night, a villager came. And the villager said, oh, come to our village house, and they gave them food. I, in 1994, have slept on Lagos Benin Express. I'll tell you the story. It was a Saturday. It was a Sunday. My father was working in the local government there, so we were going back from my village to Bulu that goes through the Shagam Benin Expressway. It was a Peugeot station wagon, car. And something got spoiled in that car. For those that remember Peugeot back then, there's something called contact sets. You remember the contact sets of the Peugeot? Got spoiled.
F44, right?
504. Pan, contact sets. So it got spoiled around the Fosu. We battle. We pushed it a little bit forward. We laid mark. Slept. Mom was with us in the car that day. There was no fear.
When did you say, sorry, when did you say this happened?
Around the Fosu area. Ah, okay.
That way to
Yeah, yeah. That way to get it.
don't be better.
Safety of the road. The condition of the road.
I know years ago.
There's still kidnappers. There's still kidnappers. But that time, we slept, we picked in sleeping positions, we slept and everything, laid clothes, blah, blah, blah. You can't do that today.
Your car wouldn't be this stuff.
What are you saying? Ordinary Ondo, they are shooting at people. Kidnappers.
Ondo is for Edo.
Ondo.
Edo is also worse too. Yeah, Edo is worse.
Let me tell you how bad things are going. My very good friend is from Ikeke. In 2020, I went for his father's funeral. I got a driver that drove from Lagos to Ikeke. Today, he says I can't try that again. I can't try going from Lagos to Ikeke. Even when he's going, he takes, because he's a high company executive, he takes police bodyguards a lot. Just because he's going to Ikeke. That's almost everybody knows. So that's the kind of society we do. But in 40 years' time, can we restore a level of parity and say we actually made the generation work? You guys are here, you're eking out your living. You want to go back home at some point. You don't want to be buried in the cold soil in Germany. You want to be buried back in your home. But what life are we going to say we have back at home? I'm not saying we must build El Dorado. Germany was not built. Berlin is over 700. As at the 1980s, Berlin was 750 years old. But I'm saying at least the basics in our own being. And I think there's not much to ask for. And I think that's the resurgence I want in Nigeria. And that's why I do the things I do. Thank you for your time. I'll take your questions.
Hand of applause, please. Thank you. Thank you. So, thank you, everyone. I'm sure everyone has probably taken one or two things out of this conversation. It's about, we see, Nigeria.
I was lucky. I was among those who wrote.
Please, Prof. Hello, Prof. It's more than an honor and a privilege to be with great Prof here. Professor Andrew Aruno is Secretary General Committee of Vice Chancellor of Nigerian University. But Prof has a powerful story. Prof has a powerful story from starting off being a shoe shiner to a Humboldt professor of many great universities, a professor that has changed the face of history in Nigeria, and a vice chancellor. I mean, Prof, what is this story? It's good to meet you here in Germany.
Thank you very much. It's nice meeting you too. And I'm happy to share a little bit of my story by way of summarizing it. Well, first of all, my name is Professor Andrew Aruno from Alkaneri local government in Bauchi State, born in a small village called Gar, which is just at the back of the Alkaneri. So you can see the rural setting where I started. My father was just a dispensary staff, cleaning in the dispensary, but at the same time he was a missionary in the hospital. So he learned very early the powerful wisdom of being educated. So he spent all his life and my mother to train us. But because of the poverty, you know, we had to work, you know, at very low level and a living. Now, anyway, he sent me to school, and after my secondary school at Government College in Maiduguri, where I worked in 1971 to 1975. Then, 76, the northeastern state was split into three: Bauchi, Borno, and Gongola. So Bauchi state was the only opportunity for me to come back and start a living. But then I was far away from home, and to come back, I did not have the money. So the only option was for me to look for a living. So I started aching life, being a shoe shiner, sitting in front of the post office, cleaning people's shoes so that I could save and go back to school. But one critical change was the fact that I did not do well in my YA, because my father, being a dispenser, also a missionary, thought that I should become a medical doctor. But honestly speaking, I was extremely good in the sciences, but I did not want to become a medical doctor at all. I have no interest in medicine, but I was interested in the arts, culture. So at the end of my Form 4, where I had to sign for my YA to now to take my career as a medical doctor or one in the sciences, I switched to the arts. Because of that, I did not do well. So I had to repeat my YA to get the pass mark to get into the university. But while doing the shoe shining job, a day came when a lady approached me with her shoes to mend. And I mended the shoes. She gave me some few points, and I took it. But I realized that the money she paid was more than the work I did. But I did not have any change to give her. So I waited until when I did some work to take the change. So before going home around 4 o'clock, I went to her office. She was a supervisor in the post office. I returned a few points. She looked at me and said, "Young boy, what happened that you are bringing these points to me?" I said, "Well, Hajia, the work I did on your shoes is not up to the amount you gave me. So that's why I returned the points." She said, why didn't you go away with the 2 points, since I did not know that I have any change to collect from you? I said, well, my mother had told me it is better to beg than to steal. So even though nobody was supervising what I was doing, I could not be at peace with myself until I returned these points which does not belong to me. She said, oh, that's beautiful. So, do you want to work? I said, well, yes, of course. So, as she said this, she said, come and see me the following day. So the following day I returned, but while on my way home, I was rejoicing because I was expecting that she would bring more shoes from her grandchildren her own shoes and maybe her husband's shoes for me to mend. So I was looking at the following day, it's going to be a big day for me to get some more money. But Lord and behold, on arrival, I went to her and said, here am I. She said, okay, put your little box of cleaning shoes here. And she took me to the supervisor, her Oga in the post office, and said, here is this young man, he would like to work in the post office. So he asked me, really, you want to work here? I said, yes. So, but why didn't you come earlier? I said, I did not have anybody to help you. So that's why you are cleaning shoes at the post office here? I said, yes. I said, well, okay, write an application. So they assisted me, I wrote that application. That day I kept my little box aside, I became a postal officer. Big title, you know, from shoe shiner
from honesty.
Officer. So I was given the orientation. The first practice, I was even trained in Kano. So I worked very hard because my parents taught me hard work. Hard work and honesty. You see, that honesty was the one that really helped me to switch or to move, to climb the ladder from a shoe shiner now to a postal officer. Imagine I had not returned those coins. What could have been my story today? I can't say. I may not know what it could have been, but the fact that I returned that coins which does not belong to me. You see, the Hajia brought me up. She doesn't know me. I don't know her. But because of that honesty. So first, let me put a mark here. Young men and women, you do not know who you are going to meet along your way. But what is fundamental, the universal truth? Honesty. Honesty for yourself, honesty with the people you relate to or with, honesty for your nation. Because if you are not honest, everything breaks down. So let me move to the next level.
Yeah. So, Prof, so from working at the Postal Service, how did you not get up to the position of being a professor at Humboldt, being the Vice Chancellor of a Nigerian university? How did all that happen? And we'll now also segue and talk about the scholarship, you know, that it brings you here because we're having a scholarship scheme. And, you know, Prof is President, Academy of Letters, Vice President, Nigerian Central Chamber of Commerce, Secretary, Committee of Vice Chancellor of Nigerian Universities, Secretary, Committee of Pro-Chancellors of Federal Universities, Shetima Ilimi of Takwa, Kaigama of Akko Emirate, Kaigama of Wasi Emirate, Lanlama Tangele of Tangele Chiefdom, Zanga Zigima of Pataskam Emirates, Gakuwan Ga District, Ihemba 1 of Afro-Ruchuku community in Abia State. And Prof has done so much, so many things. And he is Pro-Chancellor and Chairman of Council, Bingham University. You know, that's part of the hearts Prof wears. So, Prof, how did you get from a shoe shiner that got a postal job because of his honesty, because he returned coins? And I'm getting a lot of comments. People are saying, a certain Dugwa is saying that Professor Haruna is a wonderful man. A lot of people are watching this, you know, on my Facebook platform that has close to, you know, 300,000 people and followers here. So how did you not get from that position to all of this you've achieved?
Well, well, from the post office, while working, I was given the opportunity to be trained. And when I was trained, I got to be more of a senior postal officer. So on return to the post office, I was asked to head counter number 1. At that time, counter number 1 was the counter responsible for exchanging postal orders. And when we exchange postal orders, military men after the war, you know, it was the time when postal order was the end thing. But then, unfortunately, the people watching me doing my job at the post office suddenly saw me selling stamps in the post office and exchanging postal orders. So as soon as they walk into the post office, they see this potential street boy now exchanging money. The next thing is they will not come to my counter, they will move to the next counter. But my supervisor expected me to be making sales. being the first counter, but I was not making sales. So one day she was worried. She said, what is happening? You are not making returns. I said, I have a problem of identity crisis. What do you mean? I said, our customers, when they enter the post office, they see a young man who was cleaning shoes, now handling money. So they suspect that I was not the right guy to be in that place. But they did not know how to tell me. The only way is to escape coming to my counter. So I invited her to watch the drama. When she saw that, she was so surprised. So you see, my background now has really
put your back to the ground.
Trouble. I told her the best way is to move me out of this post office and send me to a place where I was not known. She said, where would I send you as a small boy? I said, anywhere. So I was sent to Yola, Adama, then Gongola State. Then while there, I said, no, send me to the local government. So I was sent to Numan to work in the postal agency there. So deliberately, I worked to save some money for 1 year because I really wanted to go to school. Money was not the driving force because my father wanted me to become a medical doctor to earn some money, good money. But I was not motivated by money. How do I really help myself and help society? So I left, I resigned, came to University of Maiduguri, did School of Remedial Studies to make up the gap in my results. That's how I found myself in the university. I did so well. Well, I started learning Arabic, French, Hausa, history, literature, because that's what I love best. I love people.
Yeah, they are communication.
So I love culture. Whether I like your language or not, first I must respect it for us to move a good life. So you don't have to be like myself. You have to be you. And the question I constantly ask myself, we as human beings, what do we owe each other to be human? What do we owe each other to be human? So what I like for myself, I should like it for every other person. So that's how I continue. Now, from that point, I passed my degree program very well. Thank God for Professor Jibril Aminu of blessed memory. I was recruited as a graduate assistant at the university. When recruited as a graduate assistant in the university, I was working there. Then he gave me scholarship to come to London to study. But honestly speaking, with my background, I did not want to come to Europe at all. I nearly got sacked from the university because I wanted to study at the University of Ibadan under Professor Ayo Bangboshi. But I had no choice but to come to Europe. So when I came to Europe, I looked at the beautiful place. I found myself in London, and I started asking myself, how did these people become who they are? So I spent a lot of time going to the museums to see their developmental stages. Because that is what fascinated me. I cannot just start from the skies, I have to start from below. So I studied a lot about their way of life, but one thing, dedication, honesty to their country, and to everybody they work with. So I found that the most difficult thing to do is to use any European at that time, to use any British or my German colleagues to cheat their own country. But I found that many do this so in my country. So anyway, that gave me the motivation. I did so well, finished my master's degree. I did not spend more than 7 days. I returned to Nigeria. And at that time I had only 25 kilograms. I left everything. I was not excited to live in Europe. I was trained to come and help at home. The money spent on me, it could have been used to give other people health, education, but a lot of money was spent on me so that I can come and multiply this in my community. So I came back home. Jibril Aminu, my vice chancellor, said, oh, you did so well, you came back home, go back for a PhD.
Wow. Honesty.
I said, sir, I want to stay. He said, no. So I went back. I finished my PhD. Again, I did not go beyond 2 weeks to return home. But in between, as I was doing my postdoctoral program, the University of London gave me opportunity to teach in the department where I work in the faculty as a postgraduate student. Wow. So anyway, I came back home. 1983 to 1983, there was a long ASU strike, and all lecturers were sacked. So I was sacked with a PhD, no job. And I said, how can a nation dismiss her intelligentsia? You know, academic staff are highly mobile.
Yes.
We are international staff. With a PhD, my PhD is not restricted to Nigeria.
Yeah, you've done
so
so
I left
well.
opportunities globally and I came home. And here is an administrator saying, you are sacked just because I demanded for my right. Wouldn't I have the opportunity to express myself in a civil way? So can't we create space for young men and women to motivate and to build their capacity? So I found that the educationists were like the target. But like Mandela said, if you want to destroy a nation, destroy your academic. So that's how it went. Anyway, my colleagues got me a job in America, but I still did not want to go to America. I wanted to work at home.
Yeah.
So anyway, I found myself in Germany. I came back to the invitation of colleagues.
Wow.
So in 1994, I came to Germany. That's when my career started here.
So
I taught in Bayreuth for 5 years. The Bayreuth is in Bayern. You know, Bayern with the headquarters of Munich. Then I came to Berlin.
Wow.
I returned home, later I came to Berlin. But in between, I had taught, I was a visiting lecturer in Italy, in Switzerland, Zurich, in Austria, Vienna, and also in several universities across Germany.
Wow.
So that's how I was working here. Wow. I spent over a decade.
Wow.
Now I came to Humboldt University. Today I and you are in Berlin.
Yeah.
University of Berlin, Humboldt University is just across the road.
Yeah.
And my office is still there where I worked.
Whoa.
But currently my student whom I train is the one in that office.
Wow. That's
how
impact.
But then along the line I came back home in 2004 to contribute. Somehow I was invited to serve at the National Conference of 2014. By good luck, I worked there for 5 months. I was lucky. I was among those who wrote the final report of the conference under Kutibi. Beautiful report for that matter.
But never implemented.
Well, for me is to do my job and
That's
allow
it.
the
You've done your part.
to do what they are supposed to do. Secondly, then I was invited to be a pro-chancellor of our state polytechnic in Bauchi. Then I started to see education in a different side. I then became a pro-chancellor.
We have to go, Andrew. Good morning.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you. Thank you so much.
They turned off the AC. Last night, they called the owner of the. We heard that the owner of the event center called and said he was under threat. If he allows the convention happen in his event center, that they are going to demolish his building. And we know how Wike has been on escapade, demolishing buildings, taking lands in Abuja. So he said that he will be a scapegoat if he allows us. However, we said we have paid. All documents have been signed, so we are proceeding. We actually left in our pajamas to come and mount this place all through the night till this morning. And even right now, they've turned off the AC. You see the lights, we are struggling. But if you notice one thing, the people inside are not complaining. We are smiling. Sweats now, skincare. You don't get where it touch. Whatever the government's like, let them do. The more they resist, the more we insist. There's nothing that will make Tinubu not go home 2027. And this is the starting. So whatever wants to happen should happen. But the convention is happening. It's going to happen today. And it's going to be a success. Yes.
What should Nigeria do forward at the end of the convention?
Resolutions that reflect their minds. Resolutions that reflect what they are thinking. ADC is here to bring back happiness to the masses. So at the end of the convention, the masses should expect resolutions that reflect their thoughts. You know, ever since the inception of this government, there's been nothing but pain, tears from the day he was sworn in. ADC is here to wipe that tears, and it starts from this convention. And we are happy it's happening. What do you want? That everybody should be steadfast. Keep pushing wherever you are watching this. Keep insisting. They are scared of you. They are very scared of you. So you must not for any reason show weakness or show that you are losing strength. We will keep insisting. I will insist together till we chase these buffons out of our sorrow.
Okere Kingdom, I'm a member of the National Convention Planning Committee. I am of the legal subcommittee in the National Convention. Yesterday, another show of shame happened, you know, why the ADC is planning its national convention. The Bola Ahmed Tinubu led the federal government of Nigeria once again displayed lawlessness, you know, displayed their tyrant nature, you know, having deprived the ADC of the state-owned facilities like the Eagle Square, like the National Stadium, you know. The ADC was able to secure this venue. This is a private arena. ADC paid, signed contractual agreement, you know, to use this venue. And to our surprise, I was here by 2 a.m. this morning. I left here around 4 a.m. The owners of this facility ordered us to begin to take away our things, begin to evacuate our things. While the ADC has paid the event planners, everything was getting set. While we were making sure that the venue is set, the owners of this facility told us that the government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu is threatening to revoke the CFO of this facility if they allow ADC, you know, to go ahead and hold their convention here. And of course, this morning when we came in here, after we arranged the venue yesterday night, they tried to lock us out. They tried to lock the party out of the place, and the party made our way into this venue because we have paid for it, and the convention is holding, like you see, the convention is holding, and the convention must hold. We want to once again tell the government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu that this convention is holding. You can't play God. You are not God. The same God that kept you alive kept all of us alive. We are all equal stakeholders in this country, and you can see that the convention is holding. Another important issue is that the election we hold, this election must be contested. This election we hold, and by God's grace, Tinubu will be kicked out of the presidency. This lawlessness, this show of shame, these anti-democratic tendencies of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu must at all times be condemned. I don't know why, having denied the party the use of state-owned facility, you also coming to threaten the owners of this facility that you will revoke the title document of this event center if they go ahead to allow ADC to hold their convention here. That is anti-democratic practice. We are calling on the international community to see how Nigeria is gradually, you know, turning into a lawless society, to see how the Tinubu-led administration is killing democracy, is killing the opposition, and we are saying that we are resilient. We are going to, within the ambits of the law, resist all anti-democratic tendencies of the Tinubu administration and make sure that democracy is sustained in this country. This 2027 election must be contested, and the rightful winner, the people's choice, the Nigerian masses will vote for, will surely emerge victorious as our president come 2027.
So what should Nigeria look forward to at the end of this?
Looking forward to a peaceful convention that is conducted in accordance with the party constitution, conducted in accordance with the INEC timetable, and the guideline for election 2027, despite the fact that INEC has now become an agency of maybe a department in the APC, the ruling party. Maybe INEC is now the electoral committee of the Africa of the APC. So now that INEC has shown itself to be partisan, show itself, particularly the chairman of INEC, who tweeted, pro-APC tweet for during the 2003 election, 2023 election. So now that the INEC has shown that they are partisan, we are saying that despite their refusal to monitor this convention, there is no statutory provision that they must monitor the convention. The law only provides that they should be notified, that the party should notify INEC, and the party did notify INEC before INEC somersaulted to now delete the name of Senator David Mark and Ogbeni Rufai Oseni from the INEC portal after INEC has deposed to an affidavit saying that these two leaders of the party, that is the national chairman and the national secretary, that they came into the leadership of this party through due process of the law in accordance with the constitution of ADC and in accordance with the electoral act. Now that INEC somersaulted and removed the names of the national chairman and the national secretary from this portal, we are saying that they have shown to be biased under Amitoku. I can't even pronounce his name very well because bad people have a way of bearing bad name, very bad name that someone can hardly pronounce. So whatever he is called, Amitoko or whatever he is called, we are saying that under him, INEC has proven to be biased. INEC has proven that they cannot conduct free, fair, credible election. We are saying that whether or not they monitor this convention is going on, and it will be finally decided in the court of law. We must do the right thing. We are doing the right thing. That's what we are doing. So if INEC refuses to recognize the outcome of this convention, the court is there to settle the issues within the ambit of the law. INEC does not have the final say. There is always a court of law that will decide issues. There's always a court of law that will decide issues. INEC does not have the final say. It is only the court of law that will look at what we have done, look at the party constitution, look at the electoral act, and say whether or not the party is right. Thank you.